Welcome back to another edition of the Gadget Lab podcast. I'm Michael Calori.
And I'm John Phillips.
We've got a great show for you this week. We're going to take a look at the Jawbone UP. We have a couple of new phones that Christina is going to show us, and we're going to take a look back in time at the Virtual Boy console. First, John, you have this personal, what is it necessarily?
Well,
Jawbone
it's a band that you put around your wrist, and then it's a pedometer inside, so it can measure all the steps you take, and then during the middle of the night, it could measure how much you move, which can tell you the next day when you plug the Jawbone back into your iPhone, it can tell you how well you slept.
So it's like a health monitoring device.
It's a health monitoring
sort of a
device.
Lifestyle changing
Right.
device. Now, this is not the first time you've shown this to us.
Right, so this is the third time we've had it on the Gadget Lab podcast. And this is also the third band that I've had, and I've had 3 bands because Jawbone, the company that makes it, has needed to send me a new band because the first 2 died on me. And this is really why we are bringing it back for this third time. There seems to be a pretty significant problem with quality control as far as the bands dying on consumers. So there's 30 Amazon reviews right now. It's getting 2 out of 5 stars on Amazon. I would say a significant portion, maybe 20-25% of the people are complaining about their bands dying. This is my 3rd dead band.
So you keep calling them up saying, this one died, send me another one.
Yeah, so I just got off the phone literally about 15 minutes ago with the founder of Jawbone, and they are working diligently to find out what's wrong with the bands, and they think they're getting closer to a fix. He won't tell me the percentage of all the bands that are affected, but clearly they are very frustrated that something is amiss.
So this is a pretty hot product. This is like a very sort of hotly anticipated holiday item. It's $100, which is a good price point.
Yeah.
And people have been waiting for this all year, which is why you've probably heard about it on Wired a lot. It's been featured on Wired a lot. It's also a very hot category.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of action here. And how badly did Jawbone slip on the ice on this one?
I think pretty badly. I've definitely tested products that weren't ready for prime time, but when you see how many complaints there are on Amazon, this is my 3rd band. There's extensive complaints on Jawbone's forums, and then other journalists are experiencing what I've experienced. Essentially, it works for a few days, then you try to sync it in your iPhone, it doesn't sync, and essentially it just bricks. So, I would have given it a really positive review, and the review is coming. That should go up soon. But at this point, I can't recommend the product. When it works, it's pretty cool, but it doesn't work. That's the problem.
So what did you like about it when it did work?
Well, what I really liked, 2 things. It has 3 modes. There's a sleep mode, and there's a daytime mode, and then there's this mode where you shoot the food that you eat. And what I loved is
the iPhone app, right?
Right, and it could tell me how well I slept. I love that, and it tells me how many steps I took each day. Love that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that people who are interested in sort of changing their lifestyle, getting more active, keeping better track of how well they're taking care of their bodies.
It's
kind of thing.
It's like a lifestyle provoker. It makes you want to be more active. It makes you want to sleep better.
So does a cattle prod, I've found, right. And alcohol, all of these things. But anyway, enough about the UP. Let's get down with some new phones. Christina's going to show us some new offerings from HTC.
Hi, my name is Christina Bonington, and I'm here to show you some new HTC 4G Android phones today. Today we've got the HTC Amaze 4G and the HTC Resound. First off, they've got a few similarities. They've both got 1.5 gigahertz processors, 4.3-inch capacitive touchscreens, and an 8-megapixel camera on the back. The HTC Amaze 4G is the cheaper of the 2, running $260 on contract with T-Mobile. It's a little bit different from the HTC Resound in that it has a dedicated camera shutter and video recording button, and its buttons are also raised off the surface of the device a bit. Software-wise, it's pretty similar. The HTC Resound is pretty similar to the Amaze 4G, but it's got a few extras. It's got built-in Beats audio, and it's also got a more pixel-packed screen, so you don't see any of those little dots of pixels on the display. Beats Audio is a feature you can turn on or off when you're listening to music on the phone. It really just adds a lot of oomph, especially in the bass. When you pair it with the $100 iBeats in-ear headphones that come with the phone, it really sounds great. The HTC Resound will run you $300 on contract with Verizon. So which would I go for? They're both solid phones. They run Android Gingerbread, they've got powerful processors, the experience is smooth, but I would spring the extra $40 for the HTC Resound. For me, the audio was just so much better than on any other phone I've ever listened to. The Beats really makes music come alive. It sounds much fuller and livelier in your ears. And the camera was also a bit better than on the HTC Amaze 4G. Images were sharper. It was just a better photographic experience.
John, what is this?
Mike, this is a Virtual Boy. So this is a console, I guess you could call it. Came out in 1995. It's a Nintendo Virtual Boy, and it's going to appear in our next an article titled 9 Gadgets That Prove You're a Hardcore Early Adopter. In other words, 9 gadgets that prove you probably bought something you shouldn't have bought.
So let me guess, you bought this back in like 1995.
I did not buy it.
Oh, you didn't buy it?
This actually is a Nintendo review unit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was delivered to me. They never asked for it back.
Right. So you fired up some collective soul and opened some new Coke and reviewed this product.
Right. So it's Nintendo's stab at 3D gaming. So essentially, I don't know if we're going to demo this or not, but I'll just give it a little shot. You would turn it on, and turns it on, and you stick your head up like this, and you could either opt in or opt out to a little request that asks, "Do you want to stop this every 30 seconds?" Because some people might experience seizures if they go more than 30 seconds. It uses what's called parallax barrier 3D technology. And also the thing that really was its sort of stuck the knife into the body and killed it for good was that it only uses red LEDs. So it's not color, and it's unlike any other kind of video game experience from 1995 or even today. But you stick your head into it, and you have your controller here, and it had a really small software library. I don't know how many total, but I think even on the aftermarket, you can't find more than 12 games or so.
And if I remember correctly, all the games sucked.
Yeah, they suck. The one that's loaded now is a pinball game, and it's the only one that I ever came close to enjoying. There was a Mario franchise game, there was a tennis game, there was a boxing game. They all were really bad. The gameplay wasn't fun. You got a neck, crick in your neck if you stuck your head in there for too long. You couldn't see the controller even if you wanted to.
So more of a torture device necessarily than like an early console.
Yeah, more of a torture device, but as a piece of industrial design, it's sort of trippy looking.
It is very trippy looking. Well, so when this came out, it was $180, and you can get them on eBay now for around the same price.
Right.
So it's actually, sort of people are sort of fans of this thing, I guess. Well, I never really liked it. I tried it a little bit, and it wasn't that fun. It didn't give me a seizure, though.
Right, and it didn't give me a seizure either. But yeah, I mean, industrial design, it says something. I'm not sure what, but it says something.
It says Johnny 5 is alive.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be back next week with some more exciting stuff, probably some holiday-themed items to show you on the Gadget Lab podcast. Until then.